Hey there, guys, and welcome to the latest episode of the Smashing Crossbar Podcast. I'm your host, Josh. With me today, I have two special guests. Ben, as always, mate, how are we?
I'm good, mate. I'm good. Happy to be back for another one.
Absolutely, mate. Thank you for being here. And today, we're going to do things a little different. We've got the membership coordinator for the Red Army of Adelaide United. Just to obviously have a chat about the season ahead and see how everything's going over there. Robby, mate, how are you?
Not too bad, mate. Yourself?
Yeah, good, mate, good. So, on today's episode, guys, we will just be discussing a few things, obviously, with Robby, how they're travelling with, obviously, members, his thoughts on, obviously, the ins, the outs of the club, obviously, how things are tracking along with their memberships and, obviously, the fan base as a whole, and all the other good stuff ahead. So let's kick it off with a nice easy one, mate, for you. Red Army. When was the Red Army formed? Was it obviously 2003 or?
Yeah, we had a couple of other, little divisions at the start. We then formed into the Adelaide United supporter group, and then we've had a couple of changes in the background for the Red Army. But yeah, been going since about, I think, 03, yeah.
Fair enough, mate. I believe is his name Glenn? I think Glenn's the capo this year. Is that correct?
Yeah, Glenn's the capo. He actually was on another podcast a little while ago over here for the All About You Now, which is our, I guess you could say, Adelaide United podcast. So the Glenn, our capo's going on for another season, and he's had a few more chants in the background, getting ready to go for the new season.
Absolutely. And as I said, this the whole idea of this podcast tonight, and obviously in the future with obviously a few more clubs that I've got lined up, is virtually just to get, as I said, we know obviously the hatred between some fans can be, in some clubs can be obviously pretty brutal, and obviously, you know, everyone's made out to hate each other and so forth, where I'm more thinking along the lines of obviously bringing back obviously the so-called friendship, and obviously you know, obviously if the Jets are looking to travel away to anywhere in particular, obviously Adelaide, Melbourne, wherever they go, you know, obviously we can obviously all catch up for a beer and have a laugh, and whilst the 90 minutes is going, the banter will fly high, but and once the game's finished, you know, just get back to it and have a few more beers and carry on. So pretty much, Ben, mate, I know you've got a couple of questions as well, so feel free to fire them away whenever you see fit. So you got one ready?
Sure. Yep. We'll start off with a little bit of a light-hearted one that's a bit Jets related, and that is, mate, do you think Ryan Kitto is going to score against the Jets this season?
Oh, look, I do have to say, Kitto's he's one that I'll definitely what's the best way I can describe it? Look, he's an absolute gun. And look, if he slots a couple through, I'm not going to be too sad about that. You know, in the midfield, he's probably going to be one of the ones to look for. You know, he's still fairly young compared to some of the guys that we've got in there. So let's see what he can do and improve himself there.
Yeah, I won't be impressed if he scores against us in round 2 at Adelaide, considering Ben and I will be over there. There will be plenty of banter coming his way if he does. So if you are listening out there, mate, do not try it.
What'll be even better if he manages to knock out Paul Izzo again?
Oh, poor old Izzo.
Or help knock out Paul Izzo again.
Yeah, well, yeah, obviously that is that's another thought as well. I've got one for you, mate. Your thoughts on your home and away jersey? I know they were released last week, I believe. We received ours was that yesterday, Ben? So again,
Yesterday.
I'm not the biggest fan, obviously, with a few of them. We got 3: black strip, a white strip, and a blue strip. White strip's not too bad. The rest of them are pretty wank, to be fair. Sorry, Laurie. But what's your thoughts on yours, mate? I know you've got a white with the black and red.
Yeah, we got the white and the red, which is pretty much our home and away strip. So, like the red, you really can't do a lot with that. I think I actually spoke to Jordan Elsey about this on Instagram a couple of days ago. He's pretty happy with the strips. So he said, yeah, definitely give him a good crack this year. I mean, the biggest problem we have at the moment is, as much as we're thankful to one of our biggest sponsors, which is IGA, supermarkets, is they just will not budge about that ring around the IGA symbol. I mean, if we could get rid of that, it would look a lot better. But at the moment, it looks like there's target practice on our chest.
Yeah, fair call. Yeah, look, as you said, it's pretty much the same red. It's funny because I can picture, I'm sure Ben can as well. Like, you picture the Jets' home shirt, and they've been different nearly every year for the last good couple. Adelaide United.
The fun fact about the Jets distributor is actually they're an Adelaide company.
That's correct, Viva.
So I actually know them quite well because they also deal with the Football Federation SA referees. So I've dealt with them on a regular basis quite a fair bit. And from the last talk that they had is as a next possible change over there, Brisbane Raw have also been in talks with them as well. So they're a really good Adelaide-based company. And I actually don't mind your kits. Even a few boys on CAF and FDU on Facebook have even been saying that they're pretty chuffed with your kits.
Well, there you go. Obviously, we'll take the compliment. Again, I don't know. To me, it's just solid blue. I'm not a fan. The way I've always pictured the Jets is obviously the gold, or obviously a little bit of contrast through the blue. But obviously the solid blue. I think we've got enough teams personally. With the Sydney and City and all that sort of stuff. So look,
But the good thing is that now that we know we've got a mole in Viva, we can get them to push the emerald, white, and cinnamon again.
Oh man!
Hey, I heard that conversation with your last podcast, and I just do not see that happening.
Oh man,
it's a fantastic kit.
It's a great kit. It really is just a great kit. The green, the cinnamon, mate, you can't beat that. That is Newcastle, KB United, one of the original teams of Newcastle's history. It's history. So hopefully I said I've been in talks with Laurie, and hopefully Laurie will sort it out, and we can hopefully get the strip back eventually, even for a one-off. I'll take a one-off just so I can buy it.
Yeah, agreed. But to be brutally honest as well, I'm having a look at Adelaide's kits right now, and I think their away kit looks pretty tidy.
And look, that's the one thing I really am enjoying is on either side of the strips on the sides, I've actually got I guess what you call breathable mesh. And if you actually look underneath there, I think they've got either Adelaide United or AUFC actually engraved in there. And that looks mint. I absolutely love that look. But look, the kits themselves, I've already gone for a fry and said show up and take my money. So, they've got a loyal supporter here. So, but from what I've seen on the forums and what I've spoken to the other members, everyone seems to be keen on the strips. Again, as I said, the only thing we've always asked for is to remove that ring around the IGA, but I think it's just a ring of death on that.
Well, mate, it can't be any worse than I think it's Minnesota United in the MLS, who have actually got Target as a sponsor.
Yeah, that's
and
pretty
they've got
bad.
the Target symbol right on the middle of their middle of their shirts.
It's almost as bad as Melbourne Victory's strip this year.
Oh, the barcode.
Barcode special.
I call it the Chev. The Chev badge.
Yeah, between them and the Coasties isn't anything better either.
The Coasties who ran out of ink.
Someone said to me, "What do you think of those two?" And I said, "Look, you can polish a turd, but it's still a turd."
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, so obviously, whilst we're on the Red Army, mate, obviously I know you're the membership coordinator there, so obviously, how are you looking for members there, mate? Plenty coming through?
So far, we're doing all right. Like pre-season, we've already got about 35 members on board. got a fair few more, sort of coming through the ranks with the FFA Cup still going. Obviously, we've got AP Leichhardt coming up on Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of sad. I've gone from being absolutely in love with them for knocking out Melbourne Victory to now being rivals, which is always interesting. But the membership's going well. I guess what we're trying to do at the moment is get away from this elitism of, you're either active or you're not. Especially with the Red Army, I'm making it well known that we're making it more family orientated.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been working greatly with the rest of the committee, especially Jason Cavey, who's our president. He's just absolutely fantastic to work with. We're trying to really break it into this family mentality. We're even taking a little bit of the mickey, obviously with the whole factor of wanting it to be more family friendly. I've actually organised for the inaugural family friendly fun day to be created. We've got a fair few coming through the ranks, and the good thing I guess we can say is the club's actually really communicating with us since new ownership takeover as well.
Yeah, look, I think personally, I said, and I'm sure Ben agrees, like it's a great thing what you're doing. Obviously, getting members involved. I know you guys have got a fair bit of merchandise as well. We obviously jumpers and so forth. Which, look, it's the one thing I think Newcastle hasn't really taken, off with. We've got the scarves and stuff like that with obviously the NCL and the squadron previously and so forth. But we never really took on more merchandise and memberships per se. It was just more just come and enjoy it, come be with us and so forth. Your thoughts on that, Ben? I think personally, we should possibly be looking into something like that. Again, I don't know what, Robby, you guys do obviously with the memberships, what you get for that, how much it is and stuff like that, but I think it's a great idea for the Jets eventually to be doing something like it.
Oh, 100%. It's only going to help benefit the club.
100%. Yeah, well, that's the biggest thing, and that's what it's all about. And obviously, what obviously the Red Army's trying to do, and obviously get as much proceeds back into the club. And obviously, I'm sure they're doing it for grassroots football and all that sort of stuff as well.
Well, to give you a bit of a backstory, so our single adult memberships are $40. What that covers is you get a discount card to a pub that we've got affiliation with called the Brompton here. They've been absolutely fantastic. They're also, I guess, in cahoots with Coopers. So one of the best breweries in Australia, I'm not going to lie. But they've been absolutely fantastic. At the moment, the $40 gets you a discount card to them, gets you a free Red Army polo shirt. It also gets you entry into the family friendly fun day. At the moment, I'm running a competition with great thanks to Craig Goodwin, which is if you sign up before Wednesday at half-time against Apia, you actually get an entry into winning a pair of signed boots from Craig Goodwin. So, and that's the funds that we get for that actually help us a lot in regards to creating TIFOs, creating banners. As you see the scaffolding on there, and we are at the moment looking at the possibility of sponsoring a player coming up in the grassroots area, because obviously, as you guys are probably aware, the fees to play are quite expensive as it is. So, it's that thing of giving back to the club, giving to the fans, but also giving to the grassroots football as well. Yeah,
look, 100%, and it's definitely something that the Jets itself need to look into, and I'm sure Ben will be with me in saying we might look into obviously getting started ourselves if no one else is sort of going to do it, because as far as I'm concerned, without the juniors there is no senior football. So once the buck stops with the junior football, if no one's coming through, well, there's going to be no seniority, and obviously seniors coming through the ranks of obviously your academies and of likes. So good. As far as I'm concerned, good work. $40. It's virtually it's peanuts. I'm sure. Sure, plenty of the guys will get on the beers and that if it's a discount at the pub, so they'll get their money back pretty quick.
If you know the Red Army anytime soon, they go to the pub twice and they've made their money back and then some.
Well, we'll soon find. We'll find out in round 2, mate. We'll come over and we'll help you out drinking the Bar Clean, guaranteed.
More than welcome to, mate. More than welcome to.
Yeah, we're more than happy to.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. More than happy to. As long as the beers are cold, we're there. Ben, mate, any more?
Yeah, I'll just pull up one of my other questions. We'll delve a little bit deeper in. Whereabouts on the pitch do you think Adelaide United are at their strongest?
Look, I think midfield and defenders are definitely where it's at for Adelaide United. Obviously, with Marco Kurz and his sort of mentality is, a strong defence, your midfield playing through, to go from there are probably where our strengths would lie. Obviously, with Jakobsen coming over from Melbourne City, you got your old boy Riggs in the background as well, causing a bit of chaos. Especially Mitch Austin can attest to that, or from what he can remember. Ryan Strang, he's a young lad that I'm definitely keen to see him grow a lot more. And yeah, as I said, our defensive and midfield with obviously SA there just really sort of helps to sort of mould that that pressure on the back and get it forward. I mean, after watching Adelaide United go down to 9 men and still beat Melbourne Victory at their home last year was last season was one of the greatest wins I think I've ever seen. So that right there shows, how Marco's able to get that defensive mentality really on track,
Yeah, 100%. I was doing some digging, obviously, and you guys fought out a 2-2 draw against Perth. Did you end up going to that one, or?
No, that was, I think, behind closed doors.
Right.
But yeah, I think we came from 2-0 down. And then, I think there's been a few matches this season, especially the friendlies, where we've been down 1 or 2 and been able to come back. But if you look at most of our games from last season, we were in exactly the same spot. We'd be very quiet to start with, get a goal or 2 slowed behind us, and then you watch, we just come back out firing. And what frustrated us most last season, and I guess what really annoyed us, is if we stopped that first goal from bleeding through and actually came through with our first or second goal before falling behind, we would have won a lot more last season. But I guess the thing compared to the season before that, which was absolutely shocking, was we've got the scoring opportunities there now. We've got the scoring prowess. Now we just need to use it,
Yeah, fair call. Obviously, good effort coming back from from 2-0 down against Perth, who I believe on paper has got pretty much one of the strongest squads leading into the season ahead. To be fair, and obviously, again, Ben and I touch on it pretty much every week. # salary cap.
# smash the cap.
Smash the cap special. It just seems to be one of those things where, you watch clubs like Perth and Melbourne and stuff like that who just, they go to town on transfer market, and here we are, we finish second, and, we're scraping the barrel, so to speak. Not that I'm complaining. I think the guys that we've brought in this season are definitely going to do the job for the ones that have gone out, like Naboot and obviously injuries and suspensions like O'Donovan and so forth. These guys are definitely going to come in and do well for us to, progress and obviously stay up the top half where I believe we should be. But you can definitely see this season ahead that Adelaide have definitely delved into the youth academy. I think they've picked up at least 4 signings out of their under-21 squad. And obviously, they've brought in some decent talent as well. Jakobsen from City. Scott Galloway, who's, as far as I'm concerned, 23 years of age. He's got plenty of potential ahead of him. He won't hold it that he went over to New Zealand, but,
Galloway's been halfway around the A League.
Yeah.
I think we're his 3rd or 4th club already. So
yeah, 23.
I feel like he's trying to do a monopoly, and I think once he gets all the clubs, he'll start charging rent.
I was about to say, mate, I'm pretty sure Liam Reddy's doing well on that one.
Yeah, you'll be hard to catch, Liam Reddy. But obviously, you look at some of the players as that you've also bought in, like Ben Halloran, decent tidy pickup. Obviously on the wing, and Craig Goodwin, no slouch. Good old Craig. I've actually been trying to get hold of him the last couple of weeks. He's been dodging me Facebook messages and so forth.
Check him on Instagram. I'll tell you what. If you want a bit of a chuckle, Chuck Goody, obviously Riggs, and George Blackwood on Instagram, and those guys are they're the mischievous three.
Oh. No, Riggs on Instagrams, I could imagine. I've seen plenty of his stuff, and he's not.
Don't steal all my questions.
He's definitely not shy of a comment.
Oh no,
Riggs. So, but yeah, I'll leave that one further for Ben. But obviously, you lost a bit of talent as well.
We did.
We
did.
31 years of age, Elric going to Western Sydney, I think was look. Again, I'm not an Adelaide fan, but silly business. I don't know why they wouldn't have kept him.
I do.
Unless, obviously, he wanted to leave on his own. But yeah, I'll let you deal with that one.
Yeah. Yep. Look, so Tarek Eric, he was one of my favourites. Just watching him play was an absolute delight. Obviously, the serious injury he had prior to that against Western Sydney Wanderers, and the I think it was the ACL where he was out for almost 12 months. That was brutal. Watching him in the recovery, and all we wanted was for him to get back on the pitch, show Kurz what he was like, and he finally gets back on the pitch, and 2 weeks later he's like, all right guys, I'm going. Why he left though was more than understandable. He did leave due to family reasons, and it's not some weak ass AFL scandal of I just want to go home. This was actually legitimate. He'd had some serious personal stuff that was going on in the background. He still stuck it out. He did everything he was required of from the club. And the one thing I tip my hat off to the club compared to what they did to Eugene was they actually gave him the proper send-off. He actually posted a video to all the boys and the girls of Adelaide United and said, guys, this is why I've got to head home, and I've got to say goodbye this way, but I see no other reason. I've never seen that much support for a player apart from when obviously Eugene came back to play against us. We gave him a little chant, and then after that, it was on young and old. But it'll be the exact same thing when he comes back and lines up against Adelaide United for Western Sydney Wanderers. We'll give him that moment of respect because he was one of our own. But after that, it's on for young and old again as well.
Yeah, 100%. Garuccio is another big loss, 23 off the Hearts.
Yes, he's absolutely smashing it over there. Have you seen
top
a
of the
couple of
league.
his goals yet?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, he's killing it.
One of his cousins I'm quite good mates with, and he still speaks to Benny a few times a week. So I try and catch up with him and find out how Ben's loving it over there, and he's smashing over there. So that was sad as well. Obviously local boy, he got picked up, and it's good to see him head over there and actually make something of himself over there as well.
Yeah, no, definitely. Anything to add there, Ben? While we're on the transfer talk?
It just seems like Scotland seems to be the home away from home nowadays for the Aussies.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. It was for a while. I think maybe we were trying to flood the Spanish market, just sort of flogging the dead horse. I know we've obviously got a few still in the Dutch and the German Liga 2, but I think the Scottish League is, I guess, somewhere where you can get highlighted, still at that medium level before you're looking somewhere like the EPL, I guess.
Yeah, or even high table championship for that matter.
Oh, exactly. Yeah. So,
it used to be a while there. They used to always go to Leeds. You know what I mean? Obviously with England, the Aussies had massive affiliation there with Leeds. So look, let him go wherever they're going to get game time. You know what I mean? He's killing it over there, and good luck to him.
That's it.
That's it. It's all you can say. Hopefully, it serves him well. Whether it gets him to a better club or a better league, or not saying the Scottish league's terrible, but it's pretty much Celtic-driven league, and unfortunately, not many other teams get close. You know, they're sitting top now, but how long that lasts, time will tell.
That's it. I mean, you got the Celtic and Rangers, which is pretty much what the league is known for, is those bloody battles. But apart from that, the rest of the league seems pretty quiet.
Yeah. So whilst we're obviously on the transfers and so forth, who do you believe the best signing that you guys have brought into the club?
Look, definitely Craig Goodwin. He's a premiership player for us, absolute legend of the club. He's had an absolute smashing career over in Spada. See him back in the attacking. I'm going to say something that's pretty unpopular. We do not rate Baba Diawara over here. I'm one of his critics that, he's had seasons to prove himself. He's constantly either under injury or underfit. So at the moment, George Blackwood's coming through. Apostolos Danilopoulos is coming through as well from our under 21s side. Pacific is another guy to watch as well. He's also an 18-year-old from our under 21 squad. So we've actually got some attackers coming through who do have that prowess to score a goal. And I think Goodwin and Blackwood, if those two can key up a little bit, especially with Ilso as well, we got some fresh blood coming through on the attackers side that hopefully can shake up the league a little bit.
Absolutely, mate. Absolutely, Ben.
Oh yeah, it's interesting that you mentioned that about Baba Diawara, because as an outside fan and not knowing what sort of goes on around, your other clubs that much, we all sort of wondered why Baba Diawara, who had come into the league as a highly regarded player, had sort of just like dropped off in favour of Blackwood.
Yeah. So what, if memory serves me right, so this was the season after our premiership. We hemorrhaged players at the start of pre-season. Our club did come out and officially state they had no plan B, which when I heard that, I was just like, you got to be kidding me. That season was the season from hell. So we lost, I think, 6 or 7 at the start of the season. Half of our lineup was injured within the first 5 games of that season. I think we went on a 7-game losing streak, and the January transfers kicked over. And I think Barber was we need someone now. We need to get him in. Let's get him in now. And they signed him up on whatever deal they could get. Now, I think what they did was they signed him up on a 3 or 4 year deal. And again, as I said, he has been riddled with injuries. He then had an issue with his visa, which, he had to head back home. And then came back, I think, within a week or 2 before the first game of the season, which meant that he had no time to be able to get up to the fitness that Marco Kurtz wanted. And, this is a training regime we're talking about where you're slogging your guts out twice a day now, which was practically unheard of prior to that. So, he's come back in, he's got, half the fitness that he should do, and Kurz has just gone, nah, we're going to get Blackwood in, he knows what he's doing. And then obviously at the end of last season, we had, Apostolos kicking in. He scored a 1 or 2. And then he also, I think, coming through as well, will hopefully give us that attacking prowess. But from what I'm not aware at the moment, and unless you guys have heard anything different, from what I'm aware, Diawara is injured again. So we're starting another season without Diawara, even being bench worthy at the moment.
Well, from what I've seen on the Adelaide page, he came on against Perth in the 2-2 draw. So obviously, and pretty much the statement there, pretty much saying obviously missing link Barber, back for Reds. He's the forgotten marquee in Marco Kurtz's A League title master plan, and he's desperate to become the relentless finisher Adelaide United signed him to be. So, look, time will tell.
I guess I've got a bit of a chip on my shoulder. It's just that when you sign someone like that as your marquee, and you spend a season and a half pointing a stick, prodding him with a stick, saying do something, and you're not getting the results, you're just like, well, what else do you do?
Oh, to be brutally fair, mate, it just at least he made it a season. Mario Jardel didn't last that long.
Yeah,
I was just about to say, it's a bit salty for a bloke who's he's played games and is somewhat of a decent talent if he can stay fit. Like Christ, join our history of friggin' marquees for God's sake.
yeah.
We'll give you some of our old ones and friggin' take him any day. Let me tell you,
If he has an 8-game suspension, I don't want him.
Oh.
Well, that's okay. You can have O'Donovan then. He's only got 10.
Yeah, 9.
9. Didn't it get downgraded one or?
No, 9. No, he lost.
Nah.
He lost one because of the FFA Cup.
FFA Cup, yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
That one counted there. Obviously, we'll roll in. Obviously, the FFA Cup quickly before we I just want to jump in. Obviously, on the W League as well. You got some massive, great signings.
Oh yes.
Yes. So we'll jump quickly into the FFA Cup match ahead. Looking good, mate. Obviously, you would expect any other day of the week to pick up an easy win against a club like IPL Leichhardt. Not so much in the last couple of seasons. Obviously, we've seen a couple of these NPL sides coming in and being the giant killer. The Mariners can attest to that very well. Which is fantastic. I probably one of the best games. People would sit there and what was the best game you've watched? In local football and so forth, mate. Down in Melbourne, when I was living down there, watching Central Coast get beat by Green Gully.
That Liam Boland.
The Boland howler, mate. Absolute gunner, just to knock them out, and then just to watch the sorry faces of the couple of Coastie fans that were there was absolutely priceless. And the fact that we were wearing Jets gear as well just made it even funnier. Just to rub it in their face.
It's one of those moments where if you had like a remote control, you just want to go, hey guys, look at this. If you pause it right at this moment, you can see the exact moment where the heart broke.
And there's a Simpsons reference.
Yeah. There it is. But yeah, so obviously, game against IPS, again, it's not going to be an easy clash, but obviously one I would expect you to get through. Your thoughts on that one, mate?
Well, look, if we'd spoken about a week ago before the Melbourne Victory game, I'd go, yeah, we should hopefully have this one won. Watching them up against Melbourne Victory, don't get me wrong, I think 98% of Australia was going for APL Leichhardt just to watch Melbourne Victory lose. But no, they're a strong squad. The Japanese player that they've got, I think I can't remember his exact name, but I think they got the wrong person when they picked up Honda. He was just an absolute freak. The shots he was scoring, and
yep.
I think the biggest thing you'll find when it comes to the FFA Cup, I was lucky enough to run a line for one of the games over here, which was Boston FC versus Adelaide Victory, is that you'll have the NPL squads who've been playing for the last 6 months together. They've got their formations down tight. They know exactly where everyone's going to be. They've been playing to that game plan for the last 6 months, to where the A League squads are coming back into their proper fitness training. They've played a couple of practice matches. They're still trying to get a feel for the new players coming in and out. Mm-hmm. I never put any NPL squad down, because all it takes is that one moment, and you get a situation like, Melbourne Victory this season, or us a couple of seasons where we get knocked out the first round, So, look, I just hope for a really good match. I think definitely one to watch. I wish AP Leichhardt all the best, but, hopefully this is where their journey stops.
Yeah, mate. Yeah, well, don't talk to us about FFA Cup round ones. We won one this year. It was fantastic. I don't think I've been so excited in my life. we actually got through the first round. But yeah, look, hopefully you guys can go on. I don't think there's anyone really else in the FFA Cup, obviously, other than the. Is there any? Are they the only NPL side left?
Bentley Heidelberg.
Bentley Heidelberg.
That's it.
Bentley Heidelberg. Yeah, well, it's going to be a cracker. Absolutely. That one.
Yeah, I'm going to that one.
You're going to that one, aren't you, Ben? Yeah.
Yeah, I am.
Yeah, that'll be an absolute cracker.
Burgers.
Absolutely. Hopefully they smack Avondale on Sunday in the Victorian NPL Grand Final down there. That's going to be
the other one I went to a couple of weeks back.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Avondale Marconi.
Avondale Marconi. Two quality sides, Avondale and Heidelberg. It's going to be an absolute bloodbath, to be fair.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be game on for sure. So obviously we'll delve into the W League. No secret as far as I'm concerned. Signing of the A League, W League this season. Michelle Heyman, absolute gun. Absolute gun. You cannot possibly fault this woman. 60-time Matilda, Asian Cup, World Cup, Olympics. She's done it all. And as far as I'm concerned, one of the main players of the bloody women's side. Sorry, Australian side, who doesn't get a great deal of recognition.
Yeah,
as much as she should.
When we found out, because I think that our social media has been on point this year, has been absolutely just teasing the day away with all the signings and stuff like that. So when they started, saying, "Oh, there's a new announcement," etc., we're just like, "Yeah, okay," and then they drop that, and we're just like, "You are joking me." We've gone from being, a squad last season, which we had a decent squad. I don't feel they clicked properly. But to be able to lock her in, I was just like, yeah, okay. I can see this being a huge crowd puller. I can see this being really good for our youth league because I don't know whether you saw, but I think actually today they announced also one of the girls from Adelaide City, Holmes, has been locked in as well.
What was that? That was Dylan Holmes?
Yeah, Dylan Holmes. So she's actually a part of the Adelaide City WNPL. She's quite good as well. She has actually secured their back-to-back championships for 17 and 18. So they secured their WNPL, would have been about 3 or 4 weeks ago at Hindmarsh or Coopers now. So look, I think overall the depth that we do have in the women's league team is actually really, really strong. Obviously, you still got Campbell and goals, Campanelli. You got Checker.
You got Dorber, who re-signed as well, I believe, Chelsea.
Yeah. So we've actually had
Jones. Let's not forget Jonesy's daughter.
Yeah, we got OJ still at the front. She definitely knows how to cause the defence and I think the referee some headaches. And also,
I wonder where she gets that from.
Oh, I won't comment. No, she's an absolute gun player. So look, I'm keen to watch this space, and I think we've got the depth there. I think we've got the squad. Now we just need to get all together and shake up the competition a fair bit.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, good luck to obviously all the W League players and obviously this season, obviously in all teams as well. It's a great league. It's coming up. I love getting down and watching the Jets.
I love watching it. Watching
the girls play. It's freaking great. It's good to see that they've got number 2 sports ground down here in Newcastle wrapped up as their actual home ground. They love playing at McDonald Jones Stadium, but obviously they like every team wants a stadium of their own, so to speak. So to call number 2 sports ground for us home for the women, they can't wait to tear it up on there. So it'll be good to see who takes it out this season. So obviously we'll start wrapping it up, mate. Obviously Ben's got a couple of quick questions there, I'm sure, and I've got a couple that I'll fire at you. So Ben, wrap one at him.
Alrighty. Let me just go down. Who do you think is going to be your most influential player on the pitch this year?
I think it's going to be a toss-up between SA and Goodwin. Obviously, you got two boys there that have been around the club for a fair while now. They know how to get things through. SA every time he touches the ball, he continues to surprise me. He is just a gift that keeps on giving. So, being obviously our captain still, being able to lead a fairly young squad. I mean, our average age is 24 years. So I think he's going to be our star attraction again, and knowing him, he'll probably take out best and fairest again this season coming out.
Yeah, fair enough. I'm gonna go Ben Halloran. He's definitely going to be one to watch this season. Obviously, I'll be interested to see how he goes. Obviously, when we're up there in round 2.
If we're looking at up and coming players, though, keep an eye out for Pacific. All right, I've seen that guy in the NPL. I've seen him playing in their under 21s, and the guy's an absolute gun. There is no one who can catch him. He's quite good with his feet, and he definitely knows how to sink one or two. So he's definitely another one to keep an eye out on.
Yeah, obviously only 18 years of age as well, so
Mm-hmm.
plenty of years left.
All right, my one to watch for Adelaide this season, and I've always rated him highly as a player, and have had the opportunity to even shake his hand and say hello, and that's Mikko Jakobsen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he. What can you say? When we found out we'd taken him from Melbourne City, it was actually nice to get one back, considering how many we've handed over. So it's going to be interesting to see with the strength we've got in our defence now. That's going to be a situation where spots are going to be tough to come by. So you're going to have to work extra hard just to be able to get in the starting lineup.
Yeah, obviously it'll be you'll be pretty happy as a club. Obviously, only letting 2 of your players go to A League opposition. Obviously, Elric's no choice, but obviously a big killer, and obviously going to be hard to watch him run out. Obviously for Western Sydney when they come back to Adelaide.
Yep.
And obviously Doherty, good young and upcoming player as well. So to only lose 2 to A League opposition, you'll take that.
Yeah, absolutely.
You'd rather them go elsewhere. The likes of obviously Hearts and so forth. So, my question, I've got one for you. It's obviously the season ahead. It's early days, so to speak. Where do you see Adelaide? Obviously, everyone wants to see them in the grand final and so forth. But realistically, where do you see them finishing the league? Virtually, we'll go top 4, middle. Obviously, maybe picking up the slack.
But as you said, most people would turn around and go, yeah, I see us, taking out the minor and the Premier trophies. Me, I'd be happy with top 4. I think we've got the depth, we've got the field, we've got the players, we've got the coaching staff behind us, and seeing what I saw develop at the last bit of that last season, seeing what I already have in the trials, the practices, and the FFA Cup, we've got a squad there. And I think give us a few more, breaking sessions, and I could definitely see us finishing in the top 4.
Fair enough, mate. Ben, any more before we wrap it up?
Yep, I've got one last question for you, mate, and we'll wrap it up into a smaller one, and that is, in a brief statement or sentence, how do you feel Marco Kurz has changed and developed your club?
Oh, so I had the honour of meeting him at the awards ceremony or the awards night. So he's created a whole new mentality and a whole new, chemistry at the club. He's shown the guys that they're not just going to get a spot because of their name. He's amped up, obviously, the physicality with in regards to the training sessions. He, along with the new ownership, has brought a breath of new life into that club, and I fanboyed hard, and for me to do that, it takes a lot. I actually said to him, "Please do not leave our club. Do not leave our club. Stay for a few more years." And he says, "Well, I'm staying at least for one more year, and we'll see what goes on from there." So even with the new owner, the first time I ever met Pierre, I'm just like, "Don't." I need him to stay at the club. We need him here. And he goes, "Look, he's staying for now. We'll see what we can do." So that's what he's done. He brought a fresh breath of air when everyone thought the club was dying on its way out, and we were in for another dreadful season.
Awesome.
Absolutely, mate. Absolutely. Well, as I said, we'll wrap it up, and thanks very much for obviously giving us an hour of your time, and obviously giving us a bit of insight, obviously into the Reds this season and how you think they're going to be travelling, and it's been great. Thanks, mate.
Thank you for having me, and all the best to obviously you boys for the season ahead, and especially round 2 when we unfortunately have to send you guys away of the L.
Yeah, look, as I said, guys, we'll wrap it up there. Thanks again for obviously listening to the podcast. Be sure to go and check out Adelaide United's new podcast. I believe it's only been established this year. About You Now podcast. I believe that's correct. Is that correct?
That's correct. The About You Now
the
podcast.
About You Now.
So a couple of boys from Mount Gambier are running that at the moment, and it's taking off pretty well.
So yeah, no, absolutely. Be sure to go check it out on YouTube. Get it on YouTube, or is it Twitter?
I think you can do it on the most podcasts. So I think YouTube, Facebook. It's also available on Google Podcasts and also Apple Podcasts as well.
Yeah, worst case scenario, just jump onto the Red Army's Twitter page, and you'll get the links to it there. Again, if you are looking at travelling up across to Adelaide for round 2, as I said on the last couple of podcasts, myself, Ben, Terence from Wireless Vlogs, and Chris from SportsCastle will be heading over to watch the boys smack Adelaide over there, and be sure to come and have a few beers. We're going to catch up with a few of the boys over there from Adelaide from the Red Army, and catch up with the president and obviously Rob, yourself, mate. So,
absolutely.
Guys, stay tuned. A few more episodes coming up in the next couple of weeks. We'll have an interview with, for puck's sake, the Melbourne Victories group, Melbourne City, and Western Sydney Wanderers, and Perth at this stage, still trying to get onto the coast. The Central Coast, Sydney FC, and Brisbane Roar. So, again, if you know anyone in those groups, feel free to hit them up, and we'd love to talk to them, obviously, about the season ahead. Cheers, mate.
Don't forget the Knicks.
Oh, the Knicks. Sorry, the forgotten bloody mob over the other side of the ditch. Sorry. Look, we'll try and find a sheep. No one wants to jump on board from there, and I'm sure the sheep will do plenty of. I'm sure the sheep will have plenty to say.
There's so many lines.
Hashtag save the Knicks. So cheers, guys, and we will catch you next week.
Cheers.
Eyes in the sky, gazing far into the night. I raise my hand to the fire, but it's no use.